only places in the world that allow abortion past 24 weeks. Angelina Baglini points out in her journal article published in 2018 that places in the US are within the top 4% of the most permissive abortion policies in the world. Some states do not prohibit abortion until viability, which is 24 weeks, making the US one of 7 countries in total that allow this. So while these laws are already very different by state, they are growing even further apart due to new legislation. So now let's look at some of the new abortion laws passed in 2019. Due to the possibility of Roe v. Wade being overturned, states are pushing to either restrict or protect abortion. This rush began in fall 2018 when Trump appointed Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. With this appointment, many speculated that Kavanaugh would be the 5th vote needed to overturn Roe v. Wade. Thus, states began pushing new legislation. Primarily, Republican states have been passing legislation that hopes to overturn Roe v. Wade. For example, Georgia's governor passed a bill banning an abortion after a heartbeat is detected, sometimes as early as 6 weeks into a pregnancy. In addition, the bill gives the fetus natural person status, which includes rights such as child support, being claimed as a dependent on taxes, and even being included in the population. So not only are some women not even aware that they are pregnant 6 weeks in, but giving an embryo the size of a pea natural person status seems to be extremely questionable. Alabama also passed a law that sparked outrage as it was the most restrictive abortion bill yet. The law bans abortion at any stage with no exceptions for rape or incest, as some of you may heard. This law is meant to target doctors performing abortions as it is punishable by up to 99 years in prison. To be clear, these laws are not in effect yet, but they are meant to challenge the Roe v. Wade ruling. Sometimes referred to as abortion trigger laws, other states have also passed legislation challenging this ruling. But while some states are passing legislation to overturn, other states are passing laws to protect abortion. For example, Illinois repeals their previous restrictions. An article published in 2019 by Vox. New legislation in Illinois enforces a woman's fundamental right to terminate their pregnancy, stating that a fertilized egg, embryo, or fetus does not have independent rights. This law also repeals requirements such as waiting periods, criminal charges for abortion providers, and looser restrictions on late-term abortions. In addition to Illinois, New York also passed similar legislation protecting abortion. In January of 2019, the Reproductive Health Care Act was signed, which made changes to New York's late-term abortion policies. Before the RHA, an abortion after 24 weeks was only legal if a woman's life was at risk. But with new legislation, this now includes exceptions for the absence of fetal viability, as well as if the abortion is necessary to protect the woman's health, making late-term abortions easier.
While laws differ by state, there are some national laws in place that could be subject to change in the coming years. With the 2020 election looming upon us, it's very important and crucial that people get the facts. S. Hansen said in Title IX, which is a thing that allows millions of women each year to afford contraception, cancer screenings, and other critical health services, is in danger of some new changes that could impact these types of services and the access that women have to them. But unfortunately, the bad news does not stop there. The new Title IX rule also removes the long-standing requirement that healthcare providers inform pregnant parties about their full range of options, which would include prenatal care, termination, and adoption. In this new Title IX amendment, they might be able to only advocate for adoption or for prenatal care. They might not even tell them the options that they have, which would be unfair to women without really having a choice. Critics of this rule worry that this will open the door to participation by programs that are opposed to abortion or that emphasize abstinence over contraceptive use. The New York Times said that the department acknowledges in the rule that it would allow funds to go to the entities that offer a single method of family planning. This might make them decide to do it over a choice of conscience, over what they really should be telling them their full range of options. Birth control is typically covered with most insurance plans, and some states even allow it without a prescription now for the pill. So that seems to be a hot topic of debate now. So Now people are starting to associate birth control with abortion. So they're not even really giving women a choice. By saying that you can't get an abortion, where is the funding to help prevent these abortions in the first place? So basically, if you want an abortion, it's not covered by insurance, where birth control currently is, but in this new turn, it would be not even covered to the prevent of it. So basically, it costs about $350 to $950 without your insurance for an abortion, according to Shepard and Turner. So even as some states move to make positive progress, the assault on sexual and reproductive health and the rights continue, and of course, abortion is at the top of their list, unfortunately. The Planned Parenthood president, Jay Abbasi, worries that the negative stigma surrounding Planned Parenthood is going to be a problem in the future. He believes that his abortion divide undermines all the great things that Planned Parenthood has to offer for women. He also believes that there is a lot for stake here. As Miranda mentioned earlier, there are legislation in 6 states that introduce measures to ban all abortions. The legislatures in 28 states introduced measures to ban abortions under certain circumstances. Jay Rosenberg asked people to consider expanding access to family planning services where Medicaid would be able to provide these services to women, including the women who would lose their eligibility after giving birth. He has 2 options for these women. He seeks to explore options to improve access to infertility services, including diagnosis and treatment, and he looks to explore options to improve contraceptive services. Many other forms of healthcare are in danger, and unless we do something now, women are going to slowly start losing all of their options. So now you might be asking, what can we do? You might feel hopeless, and without going and protesting in front of a Planned Parenthood, you think, well, what can we do? But we all have a voice, and this voice can be seen by voting. The 2020 election is upon us, and we all have a place to talk there. So it's going to be a divided one, it seems like, and it seems like this is a very heavily debated topic, and it's getting very heated already, and we're still 2 years out. So I urge you to take a look at the upcoming election candidates, and a lot of this is going to be decided by healthcare. Many of them are running on bigger platforms, and this is one of the elections that they think healthcare and women's reproductive rights are going to have a huge say in the outcome of this election. So we really do have a voice in this election, and how it plans out will end up determining a lot of the future for reproductive rights. So former Vice President Joe Biden says on the topic that he would support Congress if he is elected. He will go to codify abortion rights if it becomes necessary. And he also said that choice should remain between a woman and her doctor. However, he's been criticized in the past for his support of the Hyde Amendment, for coming down on Roe versus Wade in the 1970s, and he has voted to ban late-term abortions, reported by Politico. So there's a little bit conflict of interest. It seems like his decisions and outlook on abortions have kind of changed over the years. So that's your own choice to decide whether he is sticking to them or if he is just changing his mind to be elected. Senator Elizabeth Warren, who is also a Democrat, released a plan to protect abortion rights. So she wants to codify Roe versus Wade should the courts overturn the decision. She wants to intend to pass a Women's Health Protection Act, which prevents states from limiting and blocking access to abortions. She proposes repealing the Hyde Amendment and repealing President Trump's gag order that prevents Title IX program from telling women how they can access abortions. And those are just a few of the things that she is running for in this platform. Now we have Senator Bernie Sanders, who is also a Democrat. He is tying abortion rights to healthcare. In the 2016 election, he really went after healthcare for all. So he's continuing this streak by saying, when we pass Medicare for all, we will be guaranteeing a woman's rights to control her own body by covering comprehensive reproductive care, including abortion. Sanders intends to fully fund Planned Parenthood and Title IX if elected. Now, more likely, Donald Trump is going to be the primary Republican candidate, so he is the only Republican candidate that I included in this. And on this topic, he says in a tweet, as most women know, and for those who would like to know, I'm strongly pro-life, with 3 exceptions: rape, incest, and protecting the life of another, which was the same position taken by Ronald Reagan. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for, and that's a choice you're going to have to make for yourselves. But I will tell you that it's super important to look at this information, especially now that this might be the first election that some of you are even voting in. So it's really going to be important to inform yourselves to make a decision that it's not just who's in office. You're going to be making a lot of decisions about ourselves, especially as women. So I urge you all to just take a look at what's going on. This is actually a lot more important than you might think it is. So to sum it all up, there have been several challenges to women's reproductive rights, both federally and statewide. To protect this fundamental right, United States healthcare laws should uphold policies such as funding for women's reproductive health and keeping abortion legal. The topics covered today illustrates the current obstacles of these fundamental rights as well as the future that they have because it is so uncertain.
So while we understand that this topic is highly debatable, I hope that you can all see some of the current issues that our policy gives. Think, is having a culture or a policy that results in millions of